Welcome to Intuitive Transformations with your host, Sylvia Henderson, and discover tools, wisdom, and inspiration that will empower you to transform your life. Sylvia is an intuitive life coach and energy healer with a growing practice that is focused on empowering others to be more of who they want to be. For the next hour, join Sylvia and explore and unravel anything in the way of you creating the life that you would love to live on the OMTimes Radio Network.
Henderson, your host, and if you are tuning in for the very first time and you would like to know more about me and what I do and what Intuitive Transformations is all about, then please be sure to visit my website at intuitivetransformations.net. That's intuitivetransformations.net, just like the name of the show. And while you're there visiting my website, I highly encourage you to take advantage of my holiday 2-for-1 special because that's expiring on December 21st, just one day after my birthday. That's right, my birthday is December 20th, everyone. If you want to send me a gift, go right ahead. Or just send me a birthday greeting. I'd be happy to receive that too. But if you purchase a private session for yourself, then I would like to give you a gift because you will receive a gift certificate of equal value that you can then give to someone that you know and love so that they too can experience a lasting positive transformation and emotional well-being in their life. And if you've been on the fence about working with me, this is the month that you want to make a decision because at the end of this year, my rates are increasing just to better match the value that I'm actually providing for my clients. So if you've been on the fence, I cannot encourage you enough to actually take action this December and book an appointment with me. I also have some very exciting news to share with you because next Sunday, December 13th, Carolyn Mays will join me live to talk about the challenges facing a spiritually conscious person in today's world. Now, this is a conversation that you do not want to miss. If you are unfamiliar with Carolyn Mays, she is the author of 5 New York Times #1 best-selling books and has been featured many times on the Oprah Winfrey Show. And she's also been featured on Oprah's Super Soul Sunday, which airs on the OWN network. She is an internationally renowned speaker, a medical intuitive, a modern-day mystic, and a true pioneer in the field of energy medicine. And again, she is going to talk about the challenges that are facing a spiritually conscious person in today's world. And we all know that right now we are facing collectively around the planet some very tumultuous times and unprecedented situations, and information is being delivered so rapidly where we're all experiencing the same thing at one time. And so this is really going to be a fantastic show that I don't want you to miss. If you do ever miss a live show, don't worry about it because OMTimes Radio FM offers 8 encore shows the week following each live show. And the best part is you can even download any of the Intuitive Transformation shows directly onto your mobile device or onto your computer. And you can do that by just going to podcast.omtimes.com. Again, that's podcast.omtimes.com. And when you land on that page, just look to the right, find the Intuitive Transformations radio show, click on that, and then you can find whichever show you would like to listen to. You can either listen directly from the website, download it. You can even share it with your social media community, which is pretty cool. So you can tweet a show out, you can Facebook it, Facebook post, and even send it to Google+. So there are a lot of ways for you to stay connected with the information that's shared on this show. Now, I am just as excited about today's guest as I am about next week's, because today I have an absolutely brilliant author joining me who has been highly acclaimed and highly esteemed for her literary contributions. Her name is Marie-Ange Faugérolas, and Marie-Ange is an award-winning French author, speaker, and screenwriter who is well known for her best-selling, critically acclaimed historical novel, Conspiracy on the Nile, which released throughout all of Europe in 1996. Since then, Marie-Ange has gone on to have more than 13 of her books published. That's quite a feat for an author to achieve, ranging from epic period piece, historical romance, supernatural drama, suspense, as well as self-help, esoteric, and spiritual nonfictions. Now, in 2003, she won the Jury Award of the Literary Prize organized by the Ministry of Interior of France, and she has also won the Award of Excellence for her work as well. Marie-Ange was named by her beloved grandmother after a popular Corsican name meaning Merry Angel. Isn't that beautiful? It is this name that opened the door to what has become a life filled with spirituality. At the age of 4, Marie-Ange had her very first contact with angels, and at that time, the angels filled her heart with love and light. It's pretty profound that you can remember something like that from the time you're 4 years old. It is this name that opened the door to what has become a life filled with spirituality, as I mentioned. And at that time, the angels, when they filled her heart with light and love, it's like her destiny was written for the rest of her life. And you'll find out why I'm saying that once I bring her on. Since then, she has developed her gift to the degree that she can even find the personal angels of others and give them their names, which is a great way for you to communicate with your angels. She has a degree in art and archaeology from the Sorbonne in Paris. She worked as a teacher for 7 years, ran a successful seminar company, and she continues to conduct workshops that help others connect to their angels. She's a mother of 5, and she currently lives in Los Angeles, California, where she conducts workshops, group meditations, and writes her angel books. Her main goal and passion in life, ever since she was 4, she's walked into this, is to help others to find love, fulfill their dreams, and to achieve their destiny. And today she is here with us to share her knowledge of angels from around the world and to share how we can connect with and receive reliable help from angels as we talk about her brand new book, which is titled Angels, the Definitive Guide to Angels from Around the World. Welcome to the show, Marie-Ange Faugérolas.
Oh, hello, Sylvia. I'm very, very happy to be with you and delighted to be with your listeners and answer your questions. Obviously, I'm very, very delighted. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, I am thrilled to have you here. But before we talk about your brand new book and talk about the angels, please forgive me, but because most of your earlier work is titled in French, and I do not want to do your work any disservice, would you mind just quickly sharing the full title of the awards that you have received, as well as for which body of work?
Oh, it's the Prix de la Gendarmerie Nationale from the Minister of Interior, as you said. And the other one is for a historical biography of the French poet Théophile Gautier, who is a very spiritual and supernatural author. And I share a lot with him because when I was isolated with my connection with the supernatural world when I was 4, he is the one who really reconciled me with my strange thoughts about what is going on in this world. I can see things behind the veil. I can feel things. I can see things. And that no other people see. And I was kind of uncomfortable with this. And he is the author who reconciled me with myself and my impression that I had to be like a little bit different from others, which is not really true. But we'll talk about this later on.
That, isn't that wonderful how everything is just so synchronistically lined up?
Yes, definitely. And I absolutely believe what you said, and I know what you do. And this is exactly what you help people find is their purpose and achieve their goals and achieve their dreams and make their dreams come true. And I absolutely believe that we all have a special destiny. We sometimes feel special because we connect to the other world, or we have a special intuition, a specific gift, a spiritual gift, whatever it is. And this is somehow really worrisome where you discover it. But the more you talk about it, the more you share it, and you discover that many people have these connections. And if they don't, they might find one way to create this connection and become familiar with the other world of love, of light. And this is something that everybody can access. This is the magic of the other world. It's for everybody.
It really is. And Marie-Ange, I'm so grateful that you said that, because there are some of us that have woken up to it and it was worrisome. It was confusing because we're experiencing things or seeing things that we don't know if other people are seeing or not. And it's a little off-putting, but you're right. Everyone does have this ability to open up to that awareness, to open up their intuition, to connect with angels, right?
Yes, on angels and other energies. Like you can see, some people can see ghosts. I can see ghosts. You can see and feel spirits. You can see and feel God's energy, the angels' energy. It's a whole world of different things.
And it absolutely surrounds us, which is really beautiful.
It does.
We're going to continue this conversation right after the break. Please stay tuned. And when we return, we're going to talk about angels and the beautiful gift that they are in our lives. We'll be back in just a moment.
Bringing you the best of the conscious minds in the world. OMTimes Radio, your conscious lifestyle on steroids. Being a radio host on IOM-FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network.
Do you want to be a better communicator? Do you want to better connect with the important people in your life? Do you want to enrich your relationships? If so, join me, Matthew Cooper, on the Positive Control System Show every Wednesday evening at 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on OMTimes Radio. I'll meet you there.
Do you have time to read that inspiring book or that blog post you've been meaning to get to? In your busy world, how do you improve yourself and keep your life going? I'm Lisa Kay, and my Between Heaven and Earth radio show can transform your life just by listening. Be uplifted with inspiring topics, positive stories, and ideas that really work. Between Heaven and Earth radio is conscious living for your soul, every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time.
OMTimes Magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organization, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. OMTimes, co-creating a more conscious lifestyle. The cutting edge of conscious radio. OMTimes Radio. IOM-FM.
Transformations Radio on the OMTimes Radio Network. And I have with me here today my special guest, Marie-Ange Faugérolas. And we are talking about her brand new book that just came out. And the title of her book is Angels, The Definitive Guide to Angels from Around the World. And Marie-Ange, this book is probably the most extensively written guidebook on angels that I think has ever been published. It's an extremely comprehensive manual. And it's definitely not a one-note body of work. You offer information and history on the angels from around the globe, from all the major religions, and you've included everything from who angels are and rituals and meditations and astrology and colors, gemstones. I mean, there's so much more too that I can't even begin to cover that's included in this volume of work, which is really must have been a labor of love. I can't imagine, doing that myself. I'm just curious, how long did it take you to pull all of this together?
I think I'm going to surprise you, Sylvia. I wrote it in 4 months.
What?
Yes.
Oh, you're just a prolific writer then. Wow, are you really?
Yes.
I thought you would say something like 4 years.
But it happened in a specific. It's a specific story. It's just when I was publishing my other books in France, and a few of them, the spiritual ones, in Canada. And my son was there also studying, so I stayed for a little while in Canada. And my publisher asked me to publish a book on angels, and it came out of nowhere. It meant it was the right time. When it's the right time, something happens in your life to tell you, yes, it's the right time. So I said, of course, I will write this book. I've been connected since I was 4 years old. So I'm so happy to write this book. And I came back to France and I started writing the book. It was early June. And I was so prolific every day. You have no idea. It's like something like a flow in my brain, in my mind. It was coming so easily. And the thing is that I had my children around me because my son passed his final exam that we have in France after high school, and he was 17 and bringing a lot of friends over. And then it was summertime. All my other children came with friends, and there were almost between 12 and 15 people every day in the house, and they were all cooking and barbecuing and all doing a lot of stuff together. And we had dinners and a glass of wine late evening. And in the morning at 8 o'clock, I was sitting in front of my computer and writing, and happy and so happy and excited and thrilled to write with the angelic connection. And this book, because I wrote it in a very, very enhancing energy and really positive connection with the angels, it came through me like really, really with a great connection. And I would tell the audience that this book is more than just a book. It's also a very strong energy, because I channeled a lot of rituals, prayers, and meditations. And every time I had an idea of a meditation, all the material, all the things needed came through me like so easily. It was absolutely amazing. So this is a great experience.
Well, I have the book here on my lap, so I am just, my jaw is dropped, because for those of you listening, when I said that this was an exceptional volume of work, I was not kidding. I mean, for this to have come through in 4 months, that had to have been channeled through the angels, because it's just so well thought out. It's just so well presented. And there is something for everyone. There is so much information in here that you could, as a reader, study this for years, actually, and still find something new, I think, every time you go back to it. So very impressive, and kudos to you and the angels for bringing this work through, because this is a time and season, I think, in humanity where we need to learn to reconnect with our unseen help. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, I agree 1000%. Absolutely. And this is also, I think, why the angels spoke through my publisher in Canada and said, it's time. And this is also why they helped me so strongly, and they really backed me up all the time and assisted me to write this book, because they knew it was the right moment. It was the right moment to talk about angels, to connect with angels, to pray to them and ask them their power that we need every day in our lives. And to, the events that took place in France, in Lebanon, very close to Los Angeles, in San Bernardino a few days ago. It's horrific. And what is going on in the world is horrific. And I think right now is the time for everybody to connect to angels and not to be fearful, because fear fuels the negative. Fear fuels the basic instincts. And if you connect to the angels, the divine God is with you, regardless of your religion. It has nothing to do with your specific belief, because this is why this book is also from angels from around the world, because there is angels for everybody, whether you're Buddhist or you're Christian or you're Jew or you're Muslim. There are angels for everybody. There is no angels for a single person that is you cannot say there is no angel for somebody. In this world, there's angels for everybody. As long as you acknowledge that it's true, you will be surrounded by angels. We are surrounded, but if you connect to them and acknowledge that they exist, then they come to you all the time and they manifest, they tap on your shoulder and say, this is for you, you should go do this, or they prevent something terrible to happen, like car accidents. It happened to me once in my life. I was driving through a forest coming from my friend's house to going back to mine, and I was by myself at dusk in this forest that was not really welcoming, and I really felt this tap on my shoulder and heard this voice saying, slow down, slow down. I was not speeding, I was just driving normally, but it still was insisting, slow down, slow down. It kept repeating, and obviously I did what they asked me to do. And I pulled over to the side of the road. And when I waited for my son to help me, I didn't want to come out of the car, but we saw the tire that was really, literally, it had exploded. And it was really, really, there is nothing to say about it. It was unbelievable. And while I brought it to the garage, the guy said, I've never seen that. So when this happens, angels are there for you. And I would like to tell our listeners today that regardless of the situation in the world, and regardless of where you are from, what you believe, angels will be by your side. And if you open your heart to them and open your soul to them, they will come into your life more and more and more, and you will be very connected. And you will feel their grace. You will feel their love. You will feel how powerful they are. And this is really something that I experienced. And I really would like to tell you that their love is immense. It's divine love. And please open up to the angels, because this is miracles that are going to happen in your life.
And we need miracles right now for many people, and
yes.
especially on our planet. And you're right. It's about stepping away from the fear and realizing that they are divine help for us and support. And so because you've gathered together this body of work, what is an angel exactly? We have the biblical depiction of it. Most people have that in their mind that are listening to this show, but and why was it necessary for God to create angels?
Oh, it's a very good question, Sylvia. The reason why God created the angels is to help us humans to develop our consciousness, to grow in spirituality, and not to be only related to our fears, our instincts, our basic needs. Our basic needs. And this is the reason why God wanted for us to have like spiritual parents, spiritual assistants, spiritual support, and feel that whatever we do, we can talk to the angels who will be our intercessors. And they will also convey all our prayers to God. So I'm very often asked the question, why can't we directly connect to God? It's very simple. God is omniscient, omnipotent. He knows everything. He is everywhere. And we are very tiny in this universe. And this is a way to feel less abandoned, because if God didn't create the angels, we would feel, oh, there's the divine that's up there, but where? Above, but we don't know where and how he can help. And he created the angels to help us having a real proximity to the angels and to God through their presence and their loving presence. And it's also a way to feel God's presence by our side and in our heart. So this is the first reason. And the second thing is that angels are beings of light and are beings of energy. They have no specific form. They are just energy and light. So we cannot really imagine what an angel looks like. Why have the artists from the Renaissance and medieval ages represented angels as beautiful beings with pleated togas and golden girdles? Just because this is how they pictured the beauty of love and divine creature. But it's from the imagination of artists. In reality, angels can take any shape to come to us. This is why a lot of people witness, and I have many stories to tell about that, but we need more time. People witness angels coming to them in different forms. They can be like human beings. One angel brought my son back. He was 2.5 years old, and he was looking like a man. And you have angels looking like women, children, or different functions in different jobs. They can be pets. They can be really the animal that you love, your cat, your dog. When you feel depressed, he's going to be very, very affectionate and come sit on your lap when you feel that you need an affectionate presence. And the animal will feel it. Why? Because an angel is tapping on his shoulder somehow and telling your animal, they need you. Go and help them to feel reassured and comforted. So angels can appear also as anything, a feather, air, a scent, a rose, anything.
So any physical form of energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful. We're going to go to another break, everyone. Please stay tuned. When we return, we're going to continue this wonderful conversation with Marie-Ange talking about angels. We'll be back in just a moment.
Bringing you the best of the conscious minds in the world. OMTimes Radio, your conscious lifestyle on steroids. Host your show on IOM-FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM-FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community. Join Elliot Jolish, the business therapist, each Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern for the Elliot Jolish Hour, as he interviews business experts on your behalf. And you're invited to email your business questions to questions@ecjgroup.com for answers, live, on air every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern on the Elliot Jolish Hour.
Circle of Hearts Radio is a sanctuary on the airwaves. Join me, Grandmother Elia, in the circle on Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, as I share information to both enlighten and nourish your soul.
As difficult as it is to believe, there are places in Africa where human traffickers sell albino children and their body parts for use in magic rituals. Humanity Healing International is actively working in Uganda to change this paradigm. The Albino Rescue Project finds albino children who are at risk and places them in safe schools and environments where they can learn and grow free from fear. To learn more or to sponsor a child, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is. Conscious media for conscious minds. OMTimes.
Henderson, and I have with me my very special guest, Marie-Ange Faugérolas. I just botched your name. I'm so sorry, Marie-Ange.
No problem. It's not that easy, I know.
But we were having a wonderful discussion about angels, and she is phenomenal when it comes to understanding them and why they're here and what they are and how to connect with them. And so, Marie-Ange, I do want to ask you this, because I know there are some people out there that have been feeling a great deal of disappointment lately in terms of their spiritual connection, feeling maybe like their prayers are not being answered. And I know that you have a very strong understanding that it is truly possible to depend on angelic assistance when we ask for it. But so there's the fear of connecting with something we can't see or understand, but then there's also the fear of disappointment. And so sometimes people will hold back and not ask. And so how do we know we have an assurance that we can depend on receiving angelic assistance?
Oh, this is a very, very interesting question. Of course, a lot of people feel, I have prayed to the angels, I have been connected, and nothing happened. Mm-hmm. There are many reasons for this. The first reason, as you said, it's fear. Fear to ask something that's not going to be listened to and not going to be fulfilled. That's the first fear. The second fear is that it doesn't happen. The real thing is that the real problem is most of the time it's beyond fear. It's our negativity that we have inside, and we see the world in a prism of negativity, and we all see what's wrong and we don't see what's right, and we don't see what goes on well, and we lose our enthusiasm. And I would say this is the main reason it doesn't happen, because when we lose enthusiasm, we cut the energy, we stop it. If you imagine you have a lamp on your desk and you're very negative and you feel, no, I don't want this lamp. This lamp doesn't bring me light. Then what happens? It's going to be, we talk of, in the celestial world, and this lamp or this candle that you feel it's not helpful. It's not going to help. It's not going to help. And you keep repeating this. It's not going to happen. And what happens is that the lamp, the wire will be cut, and the candle will be snuffed out. So if you really want something to happen, be positive about it and forget about the negative. And just let me tell you something. When you are in a dark room, you are negative, it won't change anything. The room is dark. It will still stay dark. But if you bring a little candle in this room, the room is no longer dark. You start with a little candle. So in your negativity, just give it a chance with a little candle, with a light of hope and of faith, a little tiny bit of hope, a tiny bit of faith, and put it in this darkness. And the next day, do the same thing, and the next day, and the next day. And you will enlighten your room, and you will no longer see the darkness. And then everything will happen. And most of the time, this is because we are negative about ourselves or about the world or about what we think about life. And there is another reason that's not your responsibility, you're not accountable for. It's that when you have angels, you obviously have the other side and of energy, and it's the dark side. And the dark side is at work right now with the terrorism and all what goes wrong in the world. We are accountable for our deeds. Yes, we are. But there is the negative behind the veil that wants people to be very negative and very evil, like these terrorists, who are human beings, basically like everybody. But they are brainwashed, and they are in the hands of negative people who take them in the dark room and leave them in the dark room and close the door. And they say, you will not bring light in this room. This is exactly what happens. And I think if we really want the world to change and us to evolve, it's important to every day kindle this little light, and the next day another light. And I promise, if you do this, you will see miracles in your life.
And I love that. And so I do want to ask you, of the meditations and rituals that you have in your book, is there one that you can recommend to those that are listening so that when they get the book, they can go to that and start to turn on that little bit of light? Because I think that right now, as you so very clearly stated, what we're experiencing is very heavy, dense, dark energy. Mm-hmm. And we're all experiencing it at the same time, which is unprecedented for humanity to do that around the world because everything is so instantaneous now. And so what ritual or meditation can you point people to in your book that they can reach for first off that will help?
I would just recommend that you can, go through the book and feel something. It's difficult to say this one is good for everybody. This is why I have a huge amount of meditations, and the angels channeled all these meditations, because you need to feel it from inside, what's really convenient for you. I would just suggest for the people who need help to support somebody who is sick, who is close to you or far away, there is a distance healing meditation that I experienced myself on somebody, and it does work. It's the distance healing meditation. I think it's in the chapter of healing with the angels. This is very helpful. And you can also do whatever you feel like doing, because it's with your heart, and you need to be attracted to a specific meditation that you feel like performing. But I would suggest for now, if you really want to start a first connection with angels with no experience, there is something that you can do. It's when you go to bed tonight, in the moment you feel like slumbering away just before you fall into deep sleep. This moment is kind of a magical moment when you are just very relaxed and you can see the night and behold the night and just wait for things to happen, like, you don't know, your dreams. And at this specific moment, just before you fall asleep, pray to an angel or to the angels and ask them something, or just pray to them and ask for receiving their love, their light, and to create the connection with them. And then you fall asleep. And while you're sleeping, angels are going to watch over you. And when you wake up in the morning, you will feel refreshed and really feel happy to get up and start a new day. So this is a very easy way and nice way for a first connection to angels.
I love that. So that's something that everyone listening can just do tonight before you go to bed. I highly encourage you to implement that exercise. What a beautiful thing to do. I know that for myself, I've recently have really focused quite a bit on connecting with my angels and actually connecting more closely with Archangel Michael. For some reason, I've been really drawn to call on him quite a bit, and it's been very comforting and soothing for me as an empath. I tend to feel everybody's stuff, so it's been a tremendous help to have that protective energy around me. But I wanted to also ask you, because I know you have one of your gifts and talents is the ability to be able to identify someone's personal angel and actually provide their name as well. Would you be so kind as to do that for me?
Of course, because I did it just before the show.
Great. I can't wait. I'm excited. Of course.
With your picture, I need, if some of our listeners are interested in doing this, I need the picture. You can go on my website and send me your picture. I will find out your angel. So the thing is, you have two protective angels who are very close to you. The first one is, maybe you don't know him, is Anael. I don't know if you heard of him. It's Anael. Anael is the archangel of love. He is a giving archangel. He's full of love. And whatever he does it with love. And when I related to what you're doing, I think it's perfect, because you're a giver. And this is the archangel who is going to fuel your energy with love that you can transmit to the people you work with. And I think he's going to be very, very helpful, especially when you're working. And the second archangel I see by your side is Gabriel, who is related to the subconscious and the feminine side. And I think he will open your subconscious to welcoming a lot of information, because Sylvia, I absolutely know that you are going to go beyond what you're doing right now. There's more stuff that you have to do. I don't know exactly on which field you're going to expand your knowledge and your practice, but I am pretty sure rather soon it's going to happen. Something is going to interfere and open a new field of knowledge and practice. And I'm very sure of this. And also, Gabriel is the one who is the angel of Annunciation. He is the one who transmits messages. And this is what you're doing with this show. And I think it's something that's going to happen more and more, and it's going to be a greater purpose. And I would like in this point to insist on everybody's purpose. I'm telling you, these angels are by your side, and I'm very, very happy that because they're very, very powerful and loving angels. And also because our listeners need to know that they all have a great destiny. We all have great things to achieve in our lives. And sometimes it takes time. It takes a lifetime sometimes to find out, but it's never too late. And I think Sylvia will help you out with this, finding your path. And sometimes it helps to find also the way to make your dreams come true, because finding your path and being in what you're supposed to do opens to many, many opportunities. And what I told you about when it was time, the publisher telling me, oh, it's time for you to write this book on angels. And just a little anecdote before we paused, before the break. It's very interesting. When I was 15 years old, I saw these little penguins in the British Library in Paris. I was starting to write, and my dream was to see one day one of these little penguins stamped on one of my books. And the penguin is on my book on angels. It happened, and I was 15.
I'm laughing, everyone, because Penguin Publishers is the publisher of Marie-Ange's book.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm so humble and incredibly grateful, Marie-Ange. Thank you so much. We're going to a break, everyone. When we return, we'll continue this conversation about angels. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a moment.
The Real Conscious Connection. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Hello, I'm Sandy Sedgbeer, host of the Inspired Parenting radio show, where every week we bring you empowering information from the diverse fields of conscious parenting, education, neuroscience, consciousness, health, and metaphysics to support you in nurturing the best in your children. So if you're interested in understanding what shapes your children's minds, spirits, and hearts, join me every Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and prepare to be inspired.
The name is Bond. James Bond.
No, the name is Joe. The Joe Show. And we are returning back for our 9th season here on OMTimes Radio. So tune in every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, on OMTimes.com/mobile. You can take us wherever you go. Yeah!
The number one reason girls drop out of school in sub-Saharan Africa is lack of access to feminine hygiene products. The Pads for Schoolgirls Project, an outreach of Humanity Healing International, is changing this paradigm by setting up sewing programs at schools, teaching girls a vocational skill while producing the reusable pads that help keep them attending classes. The girls pay it forward by making and giving pad kits to other girls in need. To learn more, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is. The best of the holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
And I have to tell you, before the break, she just gifted me with a very powerful and insightful message, and she gifted all of us with a very powerful, encouraging message that we all have a very strong and powerful purpose for us all to step into. And I tell you, what a beautiful blessing and a gift this has been to have you on the show, Marie-Ange. So I want everyone to know, how can they get into contact with you? Would you mind sharing your website?
Oh, of course, with pleasure. My website is myname.com, Marie, MarieAnge Faugérolas.com, Marie-Ange Faugérolas.com. Very simple. So you can write me a message and I would be very pleased to reply.
Beautiful. And if anyone did not catch the spelling, just go to the show bio page, because her name is there. And so it's just her full name.com, and you'll be able to purchase her book. Her book is also available on Amazon. Is that correct? As well as Barnes & Noble?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So you can get her book. You can order it just and have it delivered if you have Amazon Prime just before Christmas, or anywhere else around the world. I'm sure that it's available as well. Also, you offer classes and workshops in Los Angeles. Is that correct?
Yes, we have the first one in this year, the first one of the year in January 16. In Studio City. It's very close to Los Angeles, and you're very welcome. If you're interested, leave me a message on my website, and I will be working with one of my friends who's an hypnotherapist, and she has a beautiful voice. She's very connected to angels, and we've been working together. She's amazing. So it will be a great pleasure, if you're interested, to welcome you to this wonderful workshop.
Wow, it sounds really amazing. That's great bringing it. I'm a hypnotherapist, so I love that you're bringing in a hypnotherapist, because you're going to do some really deep and profound changing work.
Exactly. Then. And it's about connecting to bringing light in your life, the journey into light with the angels. So it's a great experience, because you feel the energy and you're into it. And it's a great thing to experience to yourself when you can and when possible.
That's phenomenal. And then correct me if I'm wrong, but you also have a tarot and angel oracle deck. Is that correct?
Yes, I work with two decks. I work with the Marseille, the very traditional tarot, and the oracle that I created. It's not published yet, but it's a work in process. And I work with the Marseille first to really feel the symbols that I need to feel, and then I can work with the angel oracle that I created, and it's a strong connection. But I intend to publish it, but step by step.
Right. It's not coming as quickly as the book did, then I take it. So I have another question for you, and I have to tell you, the angels have really been working behind the scenes, because I had a very long list of questions, and you have answered every one that I have written down, whether I've asked it or not. So that's when I know that everything is very synchronistically being orchestrated by those that are behind the scenes here, behind the veil. So do angels in non-physical form experience emotions, say, like joy, for instance?
Oh, thank you for asking this question. For our listeners who sometimes wonder if the spiritual world is not really severe, and if we need to be like in many religious behaviors, we need to believe God is wrath of God and all that kind of stuff. Honestly, I have experienced a lot of connection with angels, seen angels, and practiced their energy. I can tell you that angels are beings of joy, of happiness, and their purpose in life is to help us grow, spiritually grow, but also to help us being happy and experiencing moments of bliss, of pure bliss and enthusiasm, as I said previously, because we humans are made for good things in life. And also like I said, for energy and light, step by step. You can be very happy one day if someone in the supermarket smiles at you, and this is going to make you feel really important. And this person with a smile is going to change your day, your hour, your day. And if you do the same with your family, with the people around you, you're going to make their day. And the more you spread it, it's a ripple effect. And the more you are enthusiastic about small things, then you get enthusiastic for everything. And I think enthusiasm, joy, and cheerfulness are the things that really angels relish. They relish joy and happiness. And especially when you create and set up your altar, your angelic altar, with different objects that you like, with flowers, incense, stones, crystals, essential oils, everything that you feel like using for your meditation. Angels love it. Like Thanksgiving, when you invite your family and friends, you create a beautiful table, and this turkey that everybody likes to eat and share is the same thing. You invite angels and they love it. And this is how you feel happy and they feel happy. So thank you for asking me this question, because yes, angels love cheerful things, and they love to drink a glass of wine and share with family and friends, and they love this. They love everybody being in a really a great mindset and optimistic. And this is why, to fight fear and negativity, it's important to still feel that there is joy in the house and around, and spreading joy around. It fights negativity very strongly.
And I love that the angels take joy from our joy.
Yes.
It just doesn't get much better than that. And so when you're saying to fight the fear, to fight the anger, to fight what's going on in this world, is by stepping into that joy, stepping into the love, stepping into the happiness. Have the angels given you any insight? I mean, there's a lot of information out there about where the world is going, which direction we're taking. Obviously, we're at a tipping point right now. And it is a conscious decision to choose the higher vibration of love versus fear. And so do they see this being a very long battle I do believe that in the end, love conquers all. That love will prevail, because that is really the only true vibration that drives all of life, right?
Oh yes, love prevails all the time. This is absolutely true. The best piece of evidence is, for instance, Hitler, who wanted to rule the world. Did he rule the world? Did anybody rule the world? So far, nobody. Just look at this. Look behind you. History is the best way to understand our world, to look backwards and see what happened in history. And every single man who attempted, endeavored to become the ruler of the world failed and was vanquished. Alexander the Great failed, and all of them, Stalin failed, and Lenin failed, and they all failed to rule the world. And there is also always somebody trying to replace a person who tried to rule the world, but they never succeed. Nobody's going to rule the world. The only one who rules the world is the divine. And no matter what we do, and regardless of our attempts to try to really reach the highest summits of power, we have to be humble and to understand that the real value in life is not power. It's not what glitters. It is what is inside our heart and who we are. So this is why little things we can do, really step by step, will build this pyramid of love, of energy, positive, of light, step by step. If you are in a challenging life, facing obstacles and hurdles, it's understandable. A lot of people are going through this today, but smiling to your family, it's possible for everybody. And cooking something nice that your loved ones will enjoy will create a beautiful energy. This is really things that you can all do, and pray to the angels to ask help and ask connection and feeling their love, because they will always fulfill you with love and infuse you with love. It's going to be a great experience when you start connecting to the angels.
I'm excited for everyone listening. If you have not gotten into the practice of connecting with your angels, then I hope that this show will encourage you to do so. Remembering the exercise that Marie-Ange shared earlier in the show about just asking the angels to be with you at night, and they'll watch over you and they will protect you and they will help to change your situation and to turn it around. I can't believe it, but we're already coming to the end of the show. This has gone so quickly, Marie-Ange. You've just been a phenomenal guest. I want to thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you so much, Sylvia. It was a great pleasure. You posed the perfect questions that allowed me to send out this message of love, of hope, and tell our listeners that believe in your destiny, believe in your power. You have a great potential, and anything can change anytime, and the angels will help you make this change and shift the energy for you. So
nothing is impossible, right?
Exactly. So I send love to everybody, and much, much love to you, Sylvia, and many thanks for inviting me to your amazing show. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, Marie-Ange, and I hope that I can have you on again, because you definitely have a very broad and vast understanding of the angels. So thank you so much for joining us, everyone. This has been a wonderful, wonderful show. Please remember that the angels take joy in your joy, that there is nothing impossible. Stay humble, focus on love, focus on light, focus on positive energy, as Marie-Ange has encouraged us all. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. I want to thank you for joining me tonight. Please be sure to check in with me again next week. I'll see you then. Take care and good night.
Free your mind with OMTimes Radio.